So we're going to be working on shading the 5 basic geometric forms with colored pencil. And you can see I've already went ahead of time and sketched out just the outline with my colored pencil that I'm going to be using, and I changed up the color. You can do the same color or you can change it up, whatever you want. You're going to need a color of colored pencil and definitely black and white to be able to do this. I'm going to start with the sphere, and so I'm using red for this. So I'm going to start with a light layer, and the sphere is round, so I'm going to use contour lines. So I'm taking the direction of my shading in a rounded fashion, so it's kind of goes along with the edge of what the sphere would look like if it were actually a 3-dimensional object, and that will help it look more 3-dimensional. I'm going to kind of color in the whole thing, except for right here. I'll keep it really light because that's where my highlight's going to be. My light source, I'll go ahead and label that in. I'm going to say the light source is coming from this direction. So that means the highlight will be on that side of my sphere. I'll keep it nice and light right now. We're not going to burnish anything yet. So now I've basically got the whole body tone colored in. You can pick up a black and add a little layer of black. With colored pencil, you have to do small little movements, and you have to do a few layers typically before you burnish, especially when you're mixing and especially when you're trying to get it to blend. You don't want stripes on your sphere. It won't look like it's round. It will just look like it is a circle with stripes. So you want it to gradually get darker. So to accomplish that, you have to have a very light hand with the black up this way, and then it can get a little, you can push a little harder as you get closer to the shadowed side over here. I still don't want to burnish just yet. Okay. So I'm pretty happy with that for now. I'm gonna have to switch back to my red. Like I said, lots of layers. And then now I can start to apply the red with a little bit heavier of a hand. And again, I am kind of going with the direction of the sphere, so kind of rounded. And we'll start to get a little bit more color mixing going on now. So I can burnish a little bit, especially here in the areas where I have built up a little bit of black. I'm going to be very light with my hand up here near where the highlight is though. I do not want to burnish there. So I can get a little bit more black down here at the bottom, and I can burnish with that here on the edge, closer to where the complete shadowed side would be. Add a little bit more black to get it darker. And I think I'll switch back to the red again and burnish with the red on top, finally. Okay, so now I'm going to really go over this whole thing and burnish with the red on top of the black, but not over here yet. Okay, so now I'll pick up the white and I'm going to start burnishing the highlight area here. So it's going to mix into pink, and I'm going to press pretty hard here in the highlighted area, and then I'm going to press a little lighter on these edges as the white kind of feathers out. I don't want to burnish there. Just want to kind of start to mix the red with the pink a little bit. now I can switch back to the red and finish this out by adding a little bit more red here closer to the highlight, and then burnishing these areas that still have the white texture of the paper showing through. So I'm gonna continue to burnish with the red. And any other spots that might need finished up, I might need to pick up the white again and just fix this as it blends into the red just a little bit more. And there you go. Now the last step would be to kind of clean up the edges. Sometimes they tend to be a bit fuzzy, and so you might want to clean up those lines with a nice sharp, maybe sharpen your pencil. And clean up the red edge, maybe clean up with the black over here if it looks a little fuzzy. Okay, then we would have a cast shadow on the table. It's going to be a little bit of an oval shape that touches the shadowed side of the sphere. I won't make you burnish the shadow. It does get a little lighter as it goes away from the sphere, and it will get darker as it comes closer and touches it. So your cast shadow might look something like that. Like I said, you don't have to burnish that one. Okay, so there you have the sphere, and now I'm going to speed up the camera so you can watch me do the other forms quickly.